Oh, that's disgusting. Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. So as a kid, I ate very differently than how I do currently. I think that is the case for most people. I do know that there are some adults who still eat like a kid. I mean, I do it from time to time, especially when I originally moved out of my parents' house. I definitely went a bit overboard and ate everything I wasn't allowed to eat as a kid, so had to get that out of my system. Recently, I have been thinking about how I used to eat as a kid. I was a pretty chubby little kid. I don't have any pictures, and even if I did, I wouldn't really want you to see them. But yes, I was a little bit of a chubster, and I kind of was thinking about how I used to eat and how I used to eat and just, I didn't care. Like, I just ate what I liked and I ate what tasted good and I ate a lot of it. How I used to eat definitely scares current me. Not just the quantity of what I used to eat, but the quality and just what it was I was eating in the first place. So today's What I Ate in a Day video is inspired by how I used to eat as a kid, more specifically, the disgusting things I used to eat as a kid. And you will see some pretty bizarre things. Now, I used to eat a lot of meat, and obviously as a vegan, that's gonna pose a bit of a challenge, but I am making do. I am making substitutions. I'm gonna make this happen. Now, keep in mind, this is just a few things that I used to eat as a kid. I didn't eat them every single day. They were on special occasions, sometimes once a week, but they are some very weird things, and they're things that I insisted that I had to eat a certain way. You'll see. My sister was mostly disgusted by the amount of pickles and candy I used to eat. Now, I did splurge a little at the store today, and I bought 2 of the giant jars of pickles. As a kid, yes, I could eat a whole one of those jars in one day, in one sitting, in like 10 minutes. But I won't do that today. In fact, I think the pickles are gonna not be featured in this video, but perhaps in a future video, I will eat crazy amounts of candy, crazy amounts of pickles, used to eat a crazy amount of apples. That is for a future video. Let's focus on this video. I'm really hungry, so before I get into the assembly of the first meal of the day, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. If you do not enjoy it, you can give it a thumbs down. That is cool too. I don't mind. If you are not subscribed already, maybe consider subscribing and be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. If you have any comments, questions, video suggestions, anything at all, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram, where I post every single day what I am eating, not just challenge days. And let's get into nasty meal number 1. So when I was a little kid, I really wanted my sister and her friends' approval. So one thing I would do to try and make them like me was pretty much eat anything. So every couple of Sundays, there was a group at church that would serve pancakes. And this is something I would whip up. So I would do it in a little plastic container, but I don't have one. So I'm going to be using a shot glass. You can see some of the ingredients here. So the first ingredient would be butter, and I am using, well, this is the lid. I discovered this recently. That's way too much. Maple syrup, some jam, and then they would have packets of Splenda. I just have the stevia Splenda, so we're gonna do some of that. And then you're gonna want to do some cracked pepper, make a little mess, and some salt. Sometimes ketchup also went into this, and then you just sort of give it a little mix. That's disgusting. So for breakfast, I'm going to be making my famous 3-meat sandwich, which was white bread, butter, ham, turkey, salami. I don't eat meat, so this is what I'm using instead. Plant protein, all-American veggie burgers, a Hillary's World's Best veggie burger, And then I discovered these yesterday, and I'm going to be trying this out as well. This is the Dr. Praeger's Perfect Turkey Burger, and that will be the third meat. So let's assemble. All right, so I have 2 slices of white bread here. And now when you're making my meat sandwich, you want to put a very generous serving of butter. Yeah, that was kind of pathetic. Whatever. And then I'm going to put the turkey burger on top of that. And then the world's best. Now obviously, deli meat would not be this thick. Doesn't that look interesting? All right, so I have the shot. So gross. And I have this giant 3 meat sandwich. Let's start with the shot. So gross. Okay. As a kid, the butter was definitely more melted. Let's eat this. Dr. Praeger's is definitely the best. So I've never actually had a turkey burger in my life, but this is good. The middle one. So I'm going to make 2 snacks that I used to have. I usually had both of these after dinner as like a dessert, but I'm still real full from earlier. So I'm going to have these desserts now and then have kind of a late dinner much later. Let some of this digest. All right, so first you're going to need some vanilla ice cream. And then what you're going to need is some cold leftover spaghetti. And then the spaghetti just goes nicely on top of the ice cream. This is weird. I usually ate this after dinner if for dinner as a family we had spaghetti. And please also keep in mind the spaghetti would have a little bit of pasta sauce on it, and then I would put it on my ice cream. All right, let's see if it's as great as I remember as a kid. Gonna make a mess. This is really good vanilla ice cream. I was a very weird child. Snack number 2 requires a glass of milk. Being a 90s kid growing up, I was raised to, you drink a glass of milk with dinner. I refused to drink my milk because I didn't like milk. But there was one way they could get me to drink milk, and it requires a blue sucker. So this is what you do. You take the blue sucker and you put it in the milk. I would only drink my milk if it was blue. Candy is so good. So for dinner, a lot of the times my mom, as a side dish, would just boil like egg noodles or just like macaroni and then put a little butter and salt on it, and that was like a side dish to whatever dinner was. So I got this idea from my brother. He started this. So I'm not the only one in my family who does this. So it's not totally weird. But what we would do is we would take some of that pasta. So I've just got some plain chickpea pasta here. And then what you want to do is you want to grab your ranch, because you're a good Midwesterner, okay? Then you're going to take your ranch and you're going to put it on your plain pasta. Ah, oh my God. That was like, okay, so the whole bottle apparently is going to go on the pasta. That was what we call a mistake. And then you just sort of mix it. And then you have ranch and pasta. This is what we call the pinnacle of health. It smells correctly. Okay. Tastes like pasta and ranch dressing. Gonna open one of these jars of pickles. I'm not gonna eat the whole jar like I used to do as a kid. So last thing I'm going to have today is I've got some celery here. This is going to be a little dessert. Is then you're going to take your frosting and you're just going to dip your celery in the frosting. This might be my favorite thing that I've eaten today. I'm so weird. Kids eat some fucking weird shit.